Dagnabbit, I'm going to try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Time for your brilliant professor, Victor Singing Eagle, here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College, Native American Literature, in beautiful downtown Agency Village, South Dakota, for meeting 17 Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. And now, without any further ado, the man himself, Professor Victor Singing Eagle. Yay! Woo, 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 woo. All right, let's get this started. Now, I have some quick announcements, so I'm going to move away from the camera and get over here for a sec. Bear with me. Well, first things first, I'm going to look at my participants and see who's been logging on. 贝学玲. Oh, 5 days ago, Shushan Mei. Oh, that's Sharon Abeta, by the way. Shushan Mei is Shayna Cook. 1 hour, 17 minutes ago, Du Reibo, Durain Dubois. 8 hours and 5 minutes ago, De Li Ling. Christina German, 13 hours and 33 minutes. Ji Ma Hui. 58 days ago. I wonder if she disappeared. Nie Jiahui, Gabrielle Nealon. 4 days ago. Ruo Kaiting, Katie Robbins. 20 days ago. And then Wei Xiying, that's me, Victor Singing Eagle. And this guy is a mannequin. So there we go. Let's go back to our course and get back to what I was messing with, because I have some announcements to make. We're going to leave it here on my late mentor's photo and go to the email quickly. Okay, Shisan Mei has emailed me. Good job. Erica Fisher says there's a youth spearing. That sounds scary. That sounds like something. Why would anybody spear some youth? No. It's supposed to be a spear fishing thing. And this is on Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. and Sunday, April 13th from 11 a.m. near the Ole Robertson Building, Agency Village, South Dakota. So bring your kids and bring your long boots and some fishing gear and come and have some fun. I wish I could go, but I have things to do. What else do we have? Deadline approaching. It says if you are into optometry and you want a summer internship, this is a great time to do it. You get to go to wherever Elvis is from. I think it's Memphis, Tennessee. And you get a travel stipend, free housing, most of your meals paid, and it says you need a 3.0. I think you also get some kind of honorarium and stipend, and they train you on how to be an eye doctor. Isn't that cool? Let's go back. Withdrawal deadline. It says where'd it go? Final day to withdraw is next Thursday, April 10th. Wow, that's in a couple of days, so if you need to withdraw, better make sure you jump on it. And then there came something from our president, and I don't see it. It's gone. But never mind. That's the main thing I wanted to share with you right now. Let's get back to our course, shall we? Let's get to the lesson plan itself. It says here, only 2 people have submitted their midterms. I sure hope this microphone's working. I made some videos already, and the stupid microphone wasn't working. Never mind. It says here, you got to get caught up on e-learning, which is what we're doing today. Also, only 2 people submitted their midterm exams. Pop quiz C, nobody. 265 days till Christmas. And that's pretty much the main thing I want to bug you with announcements. Now I need to bother you with Sherry Ortner versus Paula Gunn Allen. And if you remember, I was harassing you with this about, I want to say, I'm going to type it in. Oh, I lost it. Never mind. I'm just going to pull this up and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. If you go to e-learning and you go to this section here where it says, please reply, Ortner versus Allen. Some of you guys gave me some discussion, but I want to spend a little time lingering on it. You hover over where it says, here is an essay, right-click on it, and it will open up a new window. You right-click on it like this. It says, open in a new window, and then this will pop up. Ortner, Sherry B., 1974. Gosh, I was just a little baby when she wrote this. But Sherry Ortner is still around. How am I doing on time? 10 minutes for me to go teach my trucking class. Oh boy, this is going to be hard. Says here is male as to nature, female to male as nature is to culture. This is what I was talking about. I got to give you a background on this. You say? Sherry Ortner is a feminist anthropologist. And if you know anything about Sherry Ortner, I believe she's, I don't like to use the word washichu, but she's non-native. That's better. And she's taking an etic perspective on native culture. She says, well, actually, her main argument is that it doesn't matter where you go in the world, women are always subjugated. And she starts off by talking about, I'm going to make this shorter than before. Let's give an example of the Chinese culture. You see, even Chinese, they have a goddess. A goddess name is Guanyin, and she spelled it the old way. The new way of spelling Guanyin is with a G. Let me show you a picture because it shows up on our lesson plan. This is Guanyin here. The goddess of mercy, the Buddhist goddess of mercy. Also, she's in Hindu culture as well. I forgot what they call her. But this is a prominent major goddess, and she usually has these big earlobes because that's considered lucky and a blessing in Chinese culture. But never mind. She says, even though in China they have this, well, they got a kind of a matriarchy going here, and they got this goddess, but if you look at real Chinese society, women are devalued. And then she goes on the universality of female subordination. What do I mean by when I say that everywhere in every known culture, women are considered in some degree inferior to men? Well, first of all, I must stress that I am talking about cultural evaluations. I am saying that in each culture, in its own way and on its own terms, makes this evaluation. But what would constitute evidence that a particular culture considers women inferior? So she got these three criteria she has here. Elements of cultural ideology from the women, the informants. That an informant is a person in the culture who talks to the anthropologist. So let's say an anthropologist wants to know something about the runaway band of Potawatomi Indians. So he or she will come up to me and ask me questions. I would be the informant because I'm answering the questions. Next, symbolic devices, social structural arrangements. So she's got those three. From the people themselves, from the things that they have, and from their social structure. That's how she's judging. But the problem is, as I said before, she's taking an etic, E-T-I-C perspective. That means from the outside looking in. Let me see. She talks specifically about the native culture. She said, well, look, even in natives, they claim that they have egalitarianism and you know, they treat their women better, but that's not true. Let's look at the Crow, for example. It says here, women had highly honorific offices. In the Sundance, they could become directors of the tobacco ceremony and played, if anything, a more conspicuous part in it than men. Sometimes played the hostess of the cooked meat festival. They were not debarred from sweating or doctoring, blah, 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 blah. However, women, during menstruation, formerly rode inferior horses, and evidently this loomed as a source of contamination. I'd say that when a woman is in her moon time, she's considered inferior, and because of this, She's closer to nature. Whereas us men and the non-menstruating people are supposed to be better and more superior. That's what her argument is, not me. Don't look at me. Don't throw anything at me. Now, so this is Sherry Ortner's argument. She says, look, even the crow, they say, well, yeah, the crow, they say that they have more egalitarian between the sexes, but no, it's not true, because they separate the women during their time. She also talks about nature and culture. Let me look at my lesson plan to explain what I mean. She says here, festivals and ceremonies, it's about purity and pollution. The men don't want women around. There's things that women can't do that it pollutes them. And there's this discussion of nature and culture. And she breaks it into three: physical bodies, nature first, and women's psyche. What does this mean? We already talked about the women's body thing, about the time of the month and moving in the cycles and all that kind of stuff. And it freaks men out, according to Sherry Ortner. Now, we got to discuss nature and culture. She says that everywhere you go in the world, women are seen as closer to nature and men are seen as closer to culture. What do we mean? Well, think about motherhood and elementary school, high school, and the higher you go, your little kids start off with a woman teacher in kindergarten and pre-K and all that. Cute lady and home mom, and she's mom breastfeeds the baby and everything is all sweet. It's just like nature, and all the animals do the same thing. But humans, you say, we're different, because as the child gets older in school, suddenly we get male teachers, and the higher you go, the more male they are, because what happens is mom is nature and the man's got to take that baby away and raise that kid up. Mom has done the rough polishing, you see, and now it's up to the man to shine him up or her up and make that kid a decent human being, especially if it's a boy. That's what Sherry Ortner says. Now, as I told you before, or as I alluded before, my hero, Paula Gunn Allen, takes issue with this. We're going to talk about it in a second, but before we do, we need to look at Sherry Ortner's definition of culture in general and nature. I'm not going to read all of this because it's going to take me too long. Categories of nature and culture are, of course, conceptual categories. No one find blah, 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 blah. See, I can go on, and she's really long-winded on this, but my short definition, or my summary of this is, she believes that culture, it doesn't matter where you go. You can even go, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to walk over here for a second, and I'm going to type in Control F. Hang on for a second. Control F. And we're going to type in define. Enter. We've got 8 definitions. And we're going to scroll down. We want to find her definition of culture. I bet you I lost it. There it is right there. So this is something that you guys need to know, even in your own classes or other classes. I shouldn't say your own, because this is your class too. But in other classes, and you're trying to find something on a web page, you can just type Control F. You guys might already know this, but maybe you forgot. And you can find what you're looking for quickly. Her definition, this is Sherry Ortner, a non-native anthropologist. She's defining culture as this transcendence by means of systems of thought and technology of the natural givens of existence. The domination, the transcendence by human beings and all the things that we do to dominate nature. That's her definition. Now you can feel my thesis warming up. Along comes my hero, Paula Gunn Allen. Let's pull her up, shall we? Ta-da! I argue that Paula Gunn Allen actually read this article and she wrote, "Where I come from is like this," and pretty much nailed Sherry Ortner step by step. Let's click on and open it up and see if I can do this. That's already 15 minutes and 18 seconds. Doggone it. We're going to stop it here because I got to go teach my trucking class anyway. So I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to do it in part 2. Thank you so much for being so patient with me, and I'll talk to you later.